mom visited.
My parents are in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How is that?
That's why this has been a train wreck to get me.
Oh, how are they doing? Where are they staying?
They're staying at a Marriott, and they're doing great. I got two good parents. I stand by it.
That's
I got
good.
two good ones. And but that said, anytime your parents come to town, it's like a typhoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a typhoon of like, we got to come up with shit to do.
She came with her friends, so I only had to take care of her for like one day, and she was so tired that she didn't need much entertainment. In fact, we probably overdid it. She just wanted to sit around. She's very good. That's the thing about when you get that age. She's 79. Of like, she really is just content just sitting around with you. It's like having a very low maintenance mom.
Yeah, no, I'm literally after this. We're going on a hike.
Ha! No, my mom can't handle that.
No, we're going on hikes. We're doing fun things. But I like that. I like my parents. I stand by, and I think more people need to say that into microphones.
I'm mad at my mom right now, but she did say something a while back. I remember I had 2 shows in a night, and I called her after the first one, and it went really well. And then the next day, she was like, "How's the late show?" I go, "Tough, man. Really, I did not do well." She goes, "Well, did you do the same material?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "So then it's the crowd's fault."
That's nice.
Like,
You
yeah.
start-
She's like, "Why would you blame? It's the same room and the same jokes. Why would you blame yourself? You're the only thing that didn't change."
You start crying on the phone.
And it was just so matter of factly. She was like, "Why would you look? It's stupid to consider it any other way." I'm like, that's very refreshing.
No, you're right.
outside-
No, there's nothing. No, there's nothing that makes me like get emotional. Yeah, then like my parents being like, well, you're obviously very good at this, and it's like, am I? Am I good at
And then
this?
my mom saw me on this trip and was like, "You weren't very funny." I'm like, "Hey,
My parents came to town. Not even watching this trip. They're not going.
good.
They
I
didn't go.
might not take my mom to shows again in the future."
My parents don't like it that much. They like it if it's like a really big show. They like if there's like a gimmicky element to it. Like if they like something fun. But if they're like, he's just gonna go up and do stand up. It's like it's very sweet actually. They're just like, we know you're good. We don't need to see. We know it. You'll be funny. It's good.
Right.
It's good.
Those are the
We
people
get it.
you most want to make laugh. When Laura likes my set, I'm very happy.
Yeah, Jess will sometimes like it, and then sometimes she's like, "What are you doing?" She actually Jess will openly say she's like, "I don't like watching you when you're working on new stuff."
Really?
She's like, I like watching it when you're so tight up there, and she's like, and it really like I get frustrated when I'm like, he's not as tight as it should. It's not as tight as it should be, and I'm like, God, I've trained you well.
It's the opposite for me. Tight material, you're like, I can watch it one time, but like I like to see the failings and.
But Laura's a comic, so it's different.
Yeah,
she's a good comic, so she understands the thing. Jess is just like, be good.
Laura's heard my act so many times. I think Jess doesn't even come close.
Oh no, Jess doesn't even. Jess barely goes to shows. Jess will go only if there's a social element to it. Like she'll go if I'm like, oh, blank's wife will be there. She's like, I'm in.
Yeah,
like she would go if you and I were on a show and Laura was there.
That's fair.
But she might not even leave the green room and or outside. Like she wouldn't even watch.
Yeah.
Just don't give a fuck.
Well, you've been doing a lot of new material lately.
A lot of new material. We're working on stuff. We're figuring stuff out. Tried a pretty big idea last night. And I was worked pretty well. Tried a new thing. It was exciting. I did, and I in an element of it that I was thinking about. A part of the joke is, remember when Trump said he was going to open Alcatraz? That was a special moment. We don't talk about that moment enough. It was like truly the most insane when he was like, we're going to reopen Alcatraz. And then everybody was like, physically impossible. Cannot, like, they like contacted the people who work there and they were like, we don't get electricity. They're like, that's not, they're like, we can't do that. Like, what are you talking about? And he just was like, all right. But he just like fully, but it like was an announcement. He was like, I've decided we're reopening this. And then they were like, he literally can't do that. And then we just all forgot about it.
His handlers are like morally some of the worst people in running our country.
100%.
Like, because they know all of this, they know what they're doing, and they're doing it. But boy, are they talented. The people who can take his whims and his ramblings and argue their coherence. My God, the Lincoln Douglas of it is it's impressive.
Yes. And look, one, you got two elements to me. One, you have 25% of this population. If he says jump, they say how high. They just love him. That's not me judging those people. You know, I think it's crazy to support anybody as much as you guys support him. I'll say that. I think it doesn't matter who it is. I think it's insane. But they'll just listen. So he says open Alcatraz. They can't do it. They're like, but you know what? It's like they'll just work on the explanation in real time.
You're right.
In real time, their brain will go, actually, that's brilliant that he said that. They just cannot fathom anything he says is bad.
Right.
Then the rest of them, they've just entered a place where, like, he has said so many things like that now that he has this element to him where you can just be like, yeah, but you know, he's just sort of, it's really, they just go like, well, but he says things.
He says things.
He says things.
We've divorced words and meaning.
We've divorced all words and meaning. Yes, nothing means anything anymore ever again.
Which is wild that this is the facts don't care about your feelings party when it's all just poetry. It's just trying to be emphatic. There was I watched a video last night that was behind the scenes of him live tweeting a Kamala speech during the campaign, and we got hit her on this and hit her on this, and it's just a room full of people just all like jumping to his whim to put out tweets. And the part that surprised me, and I felt stupid for not realizing this, is he doesn't type anything himself. I don't know why I thought he did. I spent all this time picturing him just tapping away. I'm like, I don't think he touches the phone. I don't think he lifts a finger. Literally.
I think he does. I think he does a little bit. I think
you should watch the video.
I've seen those. I think he has a team.
I think
the late at night ones are him.
Mouth and people move his jaw around to chew it for him. I don't think he belabors himself with anything. He's Baron Harkonnen. He's like the ultimate in power.
He's wild, man. It's wild stuff. It's wild stuff.
Bring me a boy.
Yeah. And they're like, you got it, buddy. Hey, man, whatever you need. Now, on a side note,
yes.
I saw one of the most impressive things I've ever seen the other day, and it's a stand-up thing.
Okay.
Hacks did a for your consideration event in LA where they basically did Deborah Vance live. So they had Gene Smart as Deborah Vance do a show for industry. Wasn't open to the public, and Hannah ran on and stuff. But in that show, there's clips of Gene Smart doing stand-up as this character, and it is good live. I just don't think people realize how impossible that is. That's impossible.
Really hard. That's like
impossible.
Saying you have to play a surfer in a movie and then you go out there and surf where you're like, that was good. I've said it, it's swimming and stand-up. If you aren't trained at it, we can tell that you aren't. If you didn't spend years and years on it, anyone who knows it is going to go, oh, that's an amateur and that's a pro. So to fake it, it's like that scene in Catch Me If You Can. Well, how did you cheat to pass the bar? He goes, I didn't. I just studied really hard and passed it. They're like, what? No.
Yeah. But she did. I mean, because it was the one question I asked her on set. One time that I was like, I simply have to ask you a question. I was like, did you ever do stand-up?
What was her answer?
Never.
Well, I worked with Brosnahan, who I think is another shining example of someone who can convincingly play a stand-up on Maisel. And I didn't ask her that, but I was with some comics hanging around at Craft Services, and she was sitting with us, and I was talking about doing shows in a very big room, and she was very inquisitive. She was like, well, how is that different? So what does that feel like? And I appreciated her constant interest in perfecting the portrayal of stand-up.
I agree. It's like surfing. It's like I don't know how you cheat it. And Jean, I was like, you had. In my mind, I was like, she must have done it early in her career.
Hey, you know what this reminds me of
Hmm.
is uh, when you have projects like movies or TV shows, and they have these very creative marketing things or little side projects where someone really poured passion into it, but no one really ended up seeing that. Like there'll be like a funny website for a movie, or the best one is Funny People made a series of YouTube videos about one of the characters, about Aziz Ansari's character Randy, that are funnier than the movie. They're like, we watched those over and over again, and they were just, little splashes on the internet that were a part of some kind of marketing campaign, but like great writing, great performance, some all-time sketches. Honestly, like the Randy, like I still hear some of the jokes
Yes.
from that in my head.
Yes, I think it actually, hurt Aziz's career to a degree because anytime he does that voice, which
Yeah.
he always did, I'm always like, Randy.
Randy
Yeah.
was taking a shit.
We're taking a shit. Dude,
Yeah.
it's
What are other things like that? Like the side marketing campaigns that are like, wow, this was some really great minds put this together.
well, first off, I'd like to say Funny People didn't just do Randy. It also had the fake TV show that Jason Schwartzman was in. They like released clips from a fake TV show.
Yo Teach with Bo Burnham?
Yes. Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah, they also had fake clips from that.
I didn't know that.
They were amazing. What a great marketing campaign that movie was. And what a great
Yeah.
2 movies it was.
What? Huh?
In my mind, Funny People was 2 movies. I remember seeing it going, it's 2 movies.
Uh-huh.
It's this journey of a stand-up comic,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a stand-up comic and this family, like, because remember, like, halfway through, and then it's like, that's a fully different movie. And I was like, either of those movies would have been great movies.
Yes.
They just happen to be.
You mean Seth's open mic character versus Adam Sandler's jaded?
Yes.
Adam Sandler playing Adam Sandler, but
Adam
sadder.
Sandler playing Adam Sandler. Although, I stand by the one. Couple
Any
times
other productions where there was like a whole side series?
Oh, it's a great question, Matthew.
There's so many.
It's a great
I
question.
can't remember a single one.
Well, I'm trying to think of like, well, there's that one right now happening with adults.
Oh,
You fallen?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen
the
marketing for that. I like that guy in it. What's his name?
uh
The stand-up. He's ridiculously funny.
yes, Malik.
Malik. Yes, that's
yes. So funny, so funny. But they're doing a campaign where it's like a PA. It's like this inappropriate PA on TikTok who's like, I worked on this show, and it's just like him like asking, just being like, hey, I was wondering like if I could get a line or two on the show, and it's just like him filming it, and he's like, they fired me, but I have all this footage, and it's very clearly somebody. It's like a campaign, but it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. The other one I can think of now is Dan Cousineau. The acting teacher from I think from Barry.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they had ads for his acting.
Henry Winkler. Yes, they did a really good job with that.
Yes, I love that stuff. This is gonna make me sound so cheesy, but like marketing and advertising is inseparable from comedy. People are like, I want to be a pure comedian. I'm like, you will spill over into the. You very likely your work will spill over into the marketing and advertising world. And honestly, you get to do cool things with it. It's not the most soul-sucking of pursuits. You get to. There'll be restrictions, but like you might end up making something you're proud of to advertise a thing. Like I see like commercials every now and then where I'm like, that was a really funny commercial. Someone whose comedy taste I respect made that commercial.
As someone who's been in a bunch of commercials and does commercials all the time I'm in a commercial, and I'm like, there's times I did one the other day. I auditioned for one, and I said in the room, I go, and I didn't get it. So this is now just me saying, but there's a commercial coming out that I said in the room, I go, this is a really funny commercial. And they were like, it wasn't with and this is just to the other guy. It was like my first round, so this isn't like me sucking up to them.
Yeah,
this is just me saying to the guy. This one. He's like, I know, right? He's like, this is a good one. We both were like, yeah. I was like, this is gonna get laughs.
Yeah.
I've been in commercials, where I've been like, this is a really funny commercial. I've been in a couple really funny ones, and I've also been in some where I'm like, there's no hope. this will be what it is.
This is what it is, and people will ignore it. Well, now commercials have to be funny in 5 seconds, but this is great because it reminds me of the opposite thing of what we're talking about. Please fact check me on this if you're listening. I believe, okay, let's do the indulgent version. 2018, I had a pilot for Comedy Central with my Monday Pun Day, my puzzle drawings I do with Jason Sudeikis. And I remember I was like, are you going to be there for the edit? He was like, I'm sorry, man, I can't. There's some part of it he couldn't be there for. I'm like, what you up to? He was like, oh, so I made this commercial series for Apple where I play like a football coach who tries to coach soccer, and now they're trying to do something like bigger with it. And I was like, good luck, man. Cool. I'm glad they want to take your little sketch character and stretch it out, because we all know SNL characters really make great movies.
Yeah. Better yet, a Premier League commercial.
That's what it was. It was a Premier League commercial.
I remember the original Ted Lasso commercial.
So I'm correct. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, well, hope that works out for you. You know?
Yeah. My
he
Monday
still answers my text, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that was the opposite of, like, again, that's a great example of like what you have to. Comedy is can be used for like fucking everything. It can be used for evil and good and marketing and awareness.
Look, I will. It's funny. I was talking to somebody about this the other day because I was driving in the middle of the day. I was driving out to Santa Monica to do a commercial audition. Commercial auditions, insanely, are in person.
Mm-hmm.
They're always in person. I did a director session yesterday for a movie.
Those commercial casting directors, really old school, really golden era, just enthusiasts.
It's so funny when you talk to them and they're like, why would we ever do this over Zoom? We have to see what you look like. We have to get a feel for you. And I'm like, you won't believe how the other side works.
Yeah, I mean, you have to shoot on film. I mean, it's the medium.
They're so much more artistic about it.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
What a weird holdout. what a weird pocket of authenticity.
Yes. Well, you talk to film and TV casting directors, and like, God bless them, whatever, but they're all just like, we just don't have time to like see you in the room. We get a feel for it. This is like a character that's going to have like a 5-episode arc, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it off of one tape, and like it'll be fine.
Like a DC property where I'm like, there's billions riding on.
Yes, and we're gonna do it off of one tape, and then meanwhile, this 20-second commercial for Subway, these people are like, we need to see them in the room at least twice because we need to.
I want to smell you. I need to feel your heat radiating onto my body.
That's how we know if this commercial is going to work, and but it is. It's like it's just so funny, the dichotomy of like these Subway commercials being like, we must see you in the room, and then
printed headshot.
Yeah, and then a Marvel TV show's like what is he, like the 5th biggest character? We can just do it off of a tape.
Yeah. Oh, this picture's 7 years old. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but sure.
He filmed it in a weird corner of his apartment. It's fine.
It's fine. You get a feel for him. He can do it. He can do it. We think he can do it.
Wild, man. Speaking of good actors, I've been hanging out with T.J. Miller a lot lately, and God, that's one of the funniest people I've like. He's so good at stand up. I've seen his work. Obviously, he's a great actor. You've said he's just like a fantastic actor, and he's really funny off stage. And what haunts me is that I think he had a stroke at a young age, and they like took out part of his brain, and that's kind of why he's so funny. He lacks a lot of inhibitions, and it's really made me struggle personally that I've picked a profession where losing part of your brain gives you a competitive advantage.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying for us to be like, if only we were just fully mentally unwell.
Yes.
We would be so much better. If I could post 20 times a day on Instagram and not feel a thing, how much better would I be? How much better would my career be if I could post if I just was like, oh, I'll just film myself. If I just did the Gary Vee method, who, by the way, I've had enough of.
I know nothing about him. I had to write jokes about him one time, but then I learned
what I needed
to learn and forgot it just as quickly.
I'm tired of it. Put it on the ticker. I'm tired of Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Had enough of his bullshit.
What's he up to?
Hey, I'll tell you what he's up to. Every day, Gary Vee puts out a new video where he's just like this. You need to be posting 30 times a day. If you're not posting 30 times a day, you're not trying. You need to be posting 30 times a day. And it's like, hey, man, uh, you're just promoting slop. You're basically saying just slop up the internet. That's how to be successful. Slop it up. He doesn't talk about quality, nothing. He's like, just post, just post. You go to the mall, post, that's a video. You go to the store, post a video. And it's like I'm so
true.
tired of these people pretending that this is like some brilliant strategy when it's like, yeah, if you want to make the internet a shittier place, sure. But like, I'm not going to celebrate you for this. I think it sucks. I think it sucks what he does. I don't
Yeah.
like him. Quote me.
He's out. Is that strategy still working though?
I don't know. I don't think so, but if you ask Gary Vee, it does. I think yes. Look, I think the more you post, the better it's going to be for you, mostly.
Until it's not. I
Until
keep
it's not.
following Eugene Brand Strategy on Instagram and
Eugene
TikTok.
brand?
Eugene Brand Strategy is the account. I think it might be Huge Brand Strat. I don't know his exact name, but he's a guy who talks about like brand strategy and advertising. It's very interesting, where he talks about the shifts he predicts happening, and I talk about like being off social media now is a cooler thing, and what I've been learning a lot about is the influencer cliff of how people will build up online, and the second they try to shift gears into bigger bigger projects, moving outside of social media, it just crumbles.
Yes.
It's
very hard.
It's very satisfying to watch for
Well-
someone who has just been cowardly about trying to push harder.
Well, let's not forget, and I've been trying to work on a joke about this a little bit, but the word influencer, this is going to be harsh, but the word influencer really means without talent. Because if you had a talent, that would be what you're known for. Influencer just means you just became successful online.
If someone
There's
called me an influencer, I would be like, "Excuse me."
I'm a stand-up comic. I'll also do brand deals. I'll do all those things. But you don't call me an influencer because I have something.
Yeah.
You don't call a musician an influencer. You don't call, Timothy Chalamet does plenty of ads, but he's not an influencer because he's an actor.
Yeah.
People who make great sketches online, you're like, oh, they're a comedy person. But
Yeah.
there's these people who are like, they're just an influencer, and it's like, so they just don't. What you're basically saying is, I can't pinpoint what makes them talented,
That's a very
other
funny
than they
observation.
post the most.
My brain's going.
It's a good point,
my
right?
joke brain's going. Or I'm like influencer. If you actually like break down the word, you'd be like Rasputin, like someone who just like you should do this. Ooh,
Yeah.
I heard it's the guy who whispers in
Yeah.
the. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Of
Like
course.
the zombie king, where he was like,
Yeah.
"Sir, you should kick them out of your palace.
Yeah.
Get out of my palace."
Yes. That is what it
when
is.
you say influencer, literally, that's what it means.
Yes, influencer is just a person being like, Sephora has a sale. And you're like, why am I following this person? What are we doing here?
Yeah, but it's great. The bastardized retelling of it is that they have this authenticity of just posting for their audience, and the second they try to do brand deals or move to like a TV series, audiences feel betrayed.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's examples. There's
It's
exceptions
like I
to the
say,
rule.
by the way, the most important thing in this industry is authenticity and being able to fake it. Feels like a Mark Twain-ism. Yeah.
I believe that's Mark Twain. Mark Twain said. Mark Twain said the key to being an influencer. God, you ever think about how
Tweet
good
every
Mark
day,
Twain?
Mark Twain. Tweet every day. So I
Did you ever think about how Mark Twain would have been so good at Twitter?
he was great.
He would have been
He
so good
was
at Twitter.
So good. If quitting cigarettes is so hard, how come I've done it 15 times? Mark Twain.
Bang. Mark Twain. That's a banger tweet.
So good.
That guy's spoken tweets.
It's not attributed to him, or it's falsely attributed to him. But my favorite one is, "Sorry, this letter is so long. I didn't have time to write a shorter one."
So good.
So good. Sorry, you were saying about influencers.
Nah, just I'm trying to. It's just an interesting thing right now to be like. It's just it's something I've been trying to write a joke about, and just like the people online who just you don't know why they're famous other than they posted the most, and
Boy, are
that's
they famous.
what's interesting, right? That's
Hmm.
the other thing that's interesting is, with social media, we got handed, some would argue, the keys to fame. We
Hmm.
as a society got to pick who's famous for the first time,
Hmm.
which was really cool because we were able to pick people who maybe the system wouldn't have picked. And now I feel like and I would argue proudly, people are like, yeah, this person posted the most. And it's like, and that's who we're picking. That's who we're going to pick. We could pick somebody else,
Always
though.
been that way. It's never been fair.
It's not about fair. It's just, say what you will. It was always about like, oh, we like this person. We like what they do. And there's something just very interesting about like this person posted the most.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a fan of theirs.
Hmm.
They post the most.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint what they do.
Yeah. They.
You
Yeah.
know, like
They just keep
and
them
again, so
alive.
that's not me saying like again. There's people who people call influencers, and I go like, oh no, they put out sketches. They make comedy sketches. It might not. It's whatever. There's people who do. Oh, they do clothing stuff, like whatever. But it's like then there's people who it's like they just walk around.
Now, to be fair, sorry to throw him under the bus. What was Carson Daly's talent?
Radio DJ.
Okay. I struggle to see what he has besides just kind of this composure and comfort.
I would argue.
Behind the scenes, he might be doing things I don't know about him in terms of organizing the show, but he would just kind of say the things. He never really cracked jokes.
Well, I think that's how he got. But so initially, right? It's radio DJ, and then
Yes.
the other thing I would say with Carson Daly, Carson Daly is really good at one thing. I would say,
Hmm.
which is he is good at being reliable live,
Which is a skill.
and that's a skill. That's a skill to be able to, and I would argue it's the Nick Cannon skill.
Okay.
Nick Cannon is somebody who the networks go. You want to know what Nick Cannon can do? He can do a live TV show, and it's not going to be a disaster.
The Ryan Seacrest of it. Yes.
Yes. So can you pinpoint it as far as like, are these people necessarily the funniest on the mic? No, but they're reliably good live, and I think that is a skill set.
Feels like influencer. I get. Yeah, I guess. But
I hear what you're saying. You're not wrong,
yeah.
and that said, you're wrong, but you're not wrong.
What blows my mind about influencers is like being camera presentable that many days of the week.
I can
is
barely pull it
such a
together for
chore.
this. I can barely pull it together for this podcast.
I have so many lighting tricks and
I,
probably
I
AI
don't.
filters on here.
I don't,
You
and
know, face
you know,
filters, but like, and
you know, I've been.
I'm fixed on my good angle, right? That I have the camera too high, the ring above me. If you caught me from down low, just here all day trying to be oof, that blows my mind that people are like, yeah,
Almost broke my
yeah.
thing doing that bit. Almost broke my shelf.
But they're doing like I guess that's true for actors too. That's like the more and more I like, the older I get and the more I think about acting, I'm like, it must be such a chore to be camera presentable because the way those people look on camera is not what they look like. I've
Well,
seen those actors at the gym.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, look, if you're on set, you're getting help. So anytime you're
Help in
taking
an hour.
what?
I'm going to be mean because I know she doesn't listen to this podcast. I've seen Ellen out and about versus how she looks like at the gym versus
Ellen DeGen.
yes.
I think you're allowed to be mean to.
Ellen at
I
my
think
gym
you're allowed
now,
to be
and
mean
I'm
to.
like, oh yeah, they really make her presentable. Like
I look like a different person if I go through professional makeup. I look
mhm.
incredible.
Oh, I heard stories of what's her name, Joan Rivers had to
It's
show
not.
had to show up at like 4 a.m. because she was like in her 80s, looking good.
I mean, Dolly Parton supposedly it's like a 20-hour process. But that said, they can do amazing things. I mean, they can do amazing things. They really can help. I agree. Like doing it because it's like I struggle with this because with like now that we're doing self tapes and auditions and stuff like that, I go, should I get myself into makeup?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to do a self tape here, why shouldn't I? Like, shouldn't I? Am I helping myself if I look like this?
Yeah. I was looking at a part where I'd play, and you're going to smirk at this, a guy dying of cancer. And my first thought was, well, that'd be nice. I wouldn't have to like do my hair or like I could like get bad sleep the night before and don't have to like worry about like moisturizing and washing my face religiously for a week before. I didn't have to be tan. Probably better I don't be tan. Uh,
You don't got to worry. I mean, listen. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's like I mean, look, you know, but this is the thing is it's like the camera is still so vicious. A good camera is so vicious that I'm always like, you can put me in full makeup, full hair, everything. I'm never gonna look that good if it's a truly good camera. Like,
yeah.
good camera gonna make you look how you look.
First time I was ever on TV, I had the opposite. I did Abdomine's house party. I sat with my cousin Ryan watching it live, and he kept looking at the screen and looking back at me. He was like, "You look a lot better up there than you do right here."
That's so funny. Yeah, no, that's
He was
definitely
like,
not.
That's what you, but you don't look like you look so good there, and then you're just you right there.
No, I remember the first time seeing myself on camera being like, what happened? It's like such a, yeah, but now I've grown up. But the nice thing is you're on TV and camera enough times, you actually get used to now I feel like I actually have a more honest look of how I look.
Yes.
So now it doesn't throw me at all. Now I'm like, that's
Yeah.
Danny, baby.
I don't know if I used to fear listening to my voice or seeing myself on camera. I'm like, nope, that's it's like riding a roller coaster every day. I'm like, I know this part.
You know, the only thing I will say is every now and then, right camera, right moment, right thing. I will say, like, you see yourself age a little bit, and I'm like, dude, there's been a couple things I've like done where I've like all of a sudden been like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to get work done. Give me a little liposuction.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I'm too conscious of it, and now when I'm around like young people, when I walk through, but that's the problem with living in New York City is that everyone moves here and then turns 30 and leaves, so you start to feel like the RA. You start to feel like this kind of old fixture walking through it. If you actually stay here, as I'm doing, hopefully into my 40s, you really start to walk through and, ugh. It's that odd frame of reference of like you can really feel yourself getting older every year because that you don't think you're that much older. They just keep looking younger and younger, and you're like, how do they see me? Am I like their dad now?
Oh my god, I did the punchline in SF this past weekend, the best,
Mm-hmm.
and best club. But at one of the shows, there was this like, I looked over and there was like these three kids. It's like, but it was one of those things where it's now I question myself, right? Where like as I said it, I was like, how old are you? And I was like, please don't be like 27.
You wanted
Please
it to
don't
be like 20.
He was 19.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah.
But it was like, but you know what I mean? But that's how much I question myself now, where I was like, is this just what 27 looks like to me now?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. It was a 19-year-old. Thank God.
And think about if you're a successful actor, in 10, 15 years, you could be dating someone younger than that.
Dude. Dude. It's wild. It's
It's-
wild. These streets in Hollywood are wild.
Yeah, it's what do they talk about? Is
Always
the
my
whole
question.
relationship founded around a like huge power dynamic imbalance? Is it like you look up to me?
I'm going to give the nicest read.
Sure, sure.
This is my kind read. If you're listening and you're like, it's the power dynamic, it's like, that could be it. Here's my nice read. You have somebody who's going, and I sometimes feel this where I'm like, with a wife that is around the same age as me, I go, sometimes it'd be really cool to have somebody around who's like, I'm still in my 20s. I want to go and like do all this stuff. because it would push you to be younger,
Fuck that.
and it isn't for
I
you,
want to
Matthew.
stay home, watch Veep, go to sleep early.
It isn't for you. But for some people, I think it's they get that they get a there's obviously like an immense amount of security and adultness that I think some people just want out of the 20. There are people, and I was one of these kind of who was like, I don't like dating in my 20s. I immediately I was like, this isn't the type of, I'm not good in this world. I'm not good at this. I hate this. And I think there's some people who are like, yeah, I like this guy. I'm happy here. I'm done. I'm happy with this. And he gets to be young. So I actually think like they can get a lot out of it from each other. That's the kindest read possible. I don't know if that's really true.
I would love to hear the women's take after a relationship like that.
Unfortunately, they're not allowed to speak.
Those NDAs are really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll never know. But that's a bummer. But welcome to Trump's America. You know what I mean?
That's that's exactly right. Where are you going to be, Danny?
Ooh, just picked up some new dates. San Diego in 2 weeks. Hot new date. Mic drop. Doing St. Louis, Miami, and more. And you can catch and follow my punch up as always.
And I'll be big shows Phoenix this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah. Desert Ridge, and then New Orleans. I got all sorts of stuff coming, like truly everywhere. And then I've added Tampa around Christmas and Anchorage, Alaska as well. But I'll like, it's unlikely I'm not near you if you live in a major American city. So Broussard.live, my punch up website. Goodbye.
Goodbye.